Many people think persimmons are simply healthy fruit and can be eaten any time without much concern. They are sweet, soft, seasonal, and often associated with a natural and traditional image of health. Because of that, a lot of people eat them in the morning on an empty stomach, after a heavy meal or several days in a row when they are in season. But persimmons are not a fruit that should always be treated casually. They can be enjoyable and nutritious when eaten properly. Yet for some people, especially older adults or those with slow digestion, they may create real discomfort if eaten in the wrong way. The problem is not that persimmons are bad. The real issue is timing, portion size, ripeness, food combinations, and the condition of the stomach at the moment they are eaten. This is why some people can enjoy persimmons without trouble, while others feel bloated, heavy, nauseated, or unusually full after eating them. Persimmons contain compounds related to their astringent character. These compounds can become more troublesome in certain digestive situations, especially when the fruit is underripe, eaten too quickly, or combined with foods that already slow stomach emptying. In older adults, digestion may already be slower than before. The stomach may move food more slowly, appetite may be irregular, chewing may be incomplete, and even mild digestive stress may feel stronger than it used to. That is why a food that once felt harmless can later become uncomfortable. Persimmons are one of those foods that deserve more attention. The first habit to avoid is eating persimmons on an empty stomach. Many people start the day with fruit because it feels light and easy. But when the stomach is empty, there is nothing else present to buffer the effect of the fruit, and the digestive environment may become less favorable. For people with sensitive stomachs, this can lead to a heavy feeling in the upper abdomen, early fullness or discomfort that lingers longer than expected. Persimmons are usually better tolerated after a meal than before one. When eaten after food, the stomach already contains a mixture of contents that can reduce the sudden burden of the fruit. That does not mean the fruit becomes harmless in every situation, but it is generally a safer way to eat it. The second point is ripeness. A firm and crisp persimmon may taste refreshing, but an underripe persimmon tends to retain more of the properties that can irritate or burden digestion. A well-ripened, soft persimmon is often easier for the stomach than a hard one. Still, even a soft, ripe persimmon should not be eaten carelessly in large amounts. Soft texture does not mean unlimited safety. It only means the stomach may handle it more gently. The third issue is portion size. Persimmons are sweet and pleasant, so it is easy to eat more than intended. But this is not a fruit that should be eaten in large amounts at one time, especially by people who often feel bloated or full. A small serving is usually the better choice. If a person feels heavy or uncomfortable after eating one persimmon, then even that amount may already be too much for their body. Portion size is always personal, but the stomach gives clear signals when the amount is excessive. Another common problem is repeated daily intake. During the season, people may keep a box of persimmons at home and eat them every day until they are gone. This sounds harmless, but eating the same fruit repeatedly without giving the body a break can increase digestive burden. With persimmons, daily repetition may be more important than many people realize. Instead of eating them several days in a row, it is often better to rotate with other fruits such as pears, apples, or citrus. Seasonal enjoyment should not become digestive overload. Preparation also matters. Persimmons are one of the fruits that are better peeled carefully, rather than eaten whole with the skin. The skin in the area around the top can be rougher and may be harder on the stomach. Removing the peel generously and cutting away the top area more deeply can reduce unnecessary digestive strain. It may seem like a small detail, but small details often matter most when digestion is already weak. Food pairing is another major point. A well-known combination that often causes discomfort is persimmon and sweet potato. Sweet potatoes are popular, filling, and considered healthy, but they can feel dense and slow in the stomach for some people. When a person eats roasted sweet potato and then adds persimmon as dessert, the stomach may feel blocked, heavy, or unusually full. Not every person will react the same way, but for those who already have slow digestion, this combination is often not ideal. If someone repeatedly feels bloated after eating both, the simplest solution is not to argue with the body, but to separate the foods by time. Another pairing to watch is with foods that already have a tightening or constipating effect. If the meal itself already slows the digestive system, adding persimmon may increase discomfort. For people with constipation, low water intake, or little physical movement, these combinations may feel even worse. Persimmons are usually best eaten simply, not as part of a heavy or complicated dessert pattern. Water timing matters too. Drinking a large amount of cold water immediately after eating. Persimmon is not a great habit for sensitive digestion. Cold liquids can make the stomach feel tighter and slower. After eating persimmon, it is better to wait a little and then drink small amounts of lukewarm water, rather than quickly washing it down with cold drinks. This is especially important for people who are already sensitive to cold foods, or who often feel abdominal tightness after meals. Post-meal posture is also important. Some people think fruit is light enough that they can eat it and lie down right away. But if digestion is already slow, lying down after eating, persimmon may make the stomach feel even heavier. A better habit is to remain upright and move gently for a while. This does not mean formal exercise. Simply walking slowly around the house, cleaning up the table, or staying seated upright can help the digestive process continue more comfortably. Some people need to be especially careful with persimmons. This includes older adults with frequent indigestion, people who become full after eating only a small amount, people with recurrent gastritis or reflux symptoms, those with constipation, those who do not chew well, and those whose appetite changes from day to day. People taking iron supplements should also be careful, because persimmon compounds may interfere with iron absorption. In such cases, it is wise to leave enough time between the supplement and the fruit, rather than taking them close together. Most importantly, people should know the warning signs. If a person eats persimmon and then feels unusually full, heavy in the upper stomach, nauseated, or as if food is not moving downward properly, that feeling should not be ignored. If the symptoms repeat or become stronger, the person should stop the habit and pay attention. If vomiting occurs repeatedly, if pain becomes significant, or if eating becomes difficult, medical evaluation may be needed. Many people assume they are simply experiencing indigestion and wait too long, but persistent stomach discomfort should not be dismissed, especially in older adults. The safest approach to persimmons is surprisingly simple. Do not eat them on an empty stomach. Choose ripe ones rather than underripe ones. Peel them well and remove the top properly. Keep the portion small. Do not eat them many days in a row. Avoid combining them with heavy foods that sit in the stomach, especially sweet potatoes. Do not lie down immediately afterward, and pay attention when the body says no. These are not dramatic rules. They are practical rules. For people who still want to enjoy persimmons without giving them up completely, the most realistic method is this: eat a small amount after lunch or dinner. Choose a fully ripened fruit. Remove the peel completely, eat slowly, and stay gently active afterward. If the stomach already feels unsettled that day, it is better to skip the fruit entirely. Healthy eating is not about forcing every healthy food into every day. It is about matching food to the body's condition. Persimmons are a good example of that principle. A food can be healthy in general and still not suit every moment, every stomach, or every habit. That is why the goal is not fear but understanding. The goal is not to ban persimmons, but to know how to eat them wisely. Older adults especially should remember that the body changes with time. A habit that caused no trouble years ago may now lead to discomfort. The answer is not frustration. The answer is adjustment. Eat a little less, choose a softer fruit, avoid the wrong combinations, and watch how the body responds. If there are many persimmons at home, there is no need to rush through them. Share them, let them ripen properly, or alternate them with other fruits. In family settings, this information matters too. When children or grandchildren bring fruit for older family members, offering a small amount after a meal is far better than encouraging them to eat several pieces because the fruit is healthy. At the table, the method often matters more than the food itself. Persimmons should be approached with the same calm principle, gently, modestly, after meals, with attention to the stomach. That is the safest path. The most important message to remember is simple persimmons can be enjoyed, but they should be eaten with care. After a meal, in a small portion, well peeled, and preferably when fully ripe. If that one habit changes, the fruit often becomes much easier on the stomach. Seasonal food should never be about excess. It should be about fit, balance, and comfort. And when the stomach is comfortable, eating remains a pleasure rather than a burden.